In this video, you will see how to control the visibility of objects and how to override objects' display properties via the visibility graphic overrides. I have the exercise file View Display open, and we're currently looking at the floor to floor plan view. And in this view, all of the model categories are visible, so we can see all of the walls, doors, furniture and other equipment that have been placed in the model. We need to make a view that we can add some dimensions to, and therefore we need to hide the furniture and equipment in that view. So first, to create a new view, we'll go to the View ribbon tab, and from the Create panel here, we'll click the Duplicate View drop down and then choose Duplicate View. Now that we have that copied view in the project browser, we'll right click over it and choose Rename, and we'll set the name to be Floor to Dimensions. So now zooming in a little, we can see we have the furniture objects here, and if I pick on this table, we can go to the Properties palette, and just beneath the Type selector here, we can see we have one object selected, and it's of the category Furniture. We can see here it's that desk family. If I select this object here and go back to the same location, we can see this belongs to the Casework category. And if I select the refrigerator next to it, we can see this belongs to the Specialty Equipment category. And finally, at the other end of the plan here, at the other end of the building, if I select one of the showers, we can see that belongs to the Plumbing Fixtures category. So these are the categories that we need to turn off in this view to leave us with just the walls and doors that we need for the dimensions. So we'll do this via the Visibility Graphic Overrides, and we can access this through two methods. We can go to the View ribbon tab, and from the Graphics panel we see we have the button here for Visibility Graphic Overrides. Alternatively, we can go to the Properties of the view, and here we can see we have an Edit button next to Visibility Graphic Overrides, so I'll click this to open up the settings. Now in here we can see we have tabs, and we're currently looking at the Model Categories tabs. And we have them for Annotation categories, the Analytical Model, Imported categories from CAD drawings, etc. and also for filters. I'll swap back to the Model categories, and looking at the first column here we can see it's titled Visibility, and beneath this we have all of the different model categories listed, and we also have a checkbox here to toggle their visibility. So looking at the list, I can see Casework near the top here, so let's uncheck that because we know we need to switch that one off. And now as the list is quite long, we'll go up to the top here and we can search for the category name. So as I start to type in Furniture, we can see the list get filtered, and now we can just uncheck the visibility toggle next to Furniture. So now I'll go back to the search box here and start to type in Plumbing. Once again we can see that list filtered, so we'll uncheck the visibility of the plumbing fixtures. And now we'll click OK to close the Visibility Graphic Overrides. And now in the view we can see that the furniture and the plumbing fixtures and also the Casework has been switched off. However, we didn't uncheck the Specialty Equipment, so an alternative way of doing that is to select it in the view here. And now from the right click menu we can choose Hide in View and then Category, and that has the same effect as unchecking the visibility toggle in the Visibility Graphic Overrides. So zooming out, I can see that we also have a section marker in the view, and we want to switch that off, so I'll select it, and from the right click menu, if we go to the top here, we can see we can repeat the Hide Category command. So we'll pick this, and the category of section markers will be switched off. Now zooming in closer to the model, we can see we have the grid lines here, and we'd like to change the way that they display so that they're not quite so prominent in the view. So to do this, I'll go to the View ribbon tab, and from the Graphics panel here, we'll click Visibility Graphics. And now we'll swap to the Annotation categories here, and we can start to scroll down the list of categories. And here we can see grids. Now I won't uncheck the visibility, I'll go across to the columns here and I'll check the option for halftone. And now we'll click OK to close down the visibility settings. And we can see now that those grid lines have faded by 50%, which is the effect that the halftone has, and they're now not so prominent within the view. So now we're ready to add some dimensions onto this floor plan view. So I'll go to the Annotate ribbon tab. From the Dimensions panel here, we'll click the Aligned dimension. And now looking at the options bar here, we can see we have the selection preference set to be wall faces. And for picking, we have entire walls selected. So I'll click the options next to this. And we can see that we have the reference for openings chosen, and this will measure the widths of openings. So we'll click OK to keep these changes. And now we can just select the wall here at the top of the corridor. And we can see that creates a string of dimensions along the entire wall. So we'll place these above the wall. And now we can pick on the walls in the offices here, and we'll need to pick all of these walls separately and then place the dimensions below. And now we can get the wall at the bottom of the corridor and place these dimensions too. So now that we have the dimensions placed, we need to create a plan view that will highlight the layout of the furniture within the plan. So to do this, we'll go to the project browser and we'll right click on the floor 2 dimensions plan here, and we'll choose duplicate view and then duplicate. And that will create a copy of this view. However, the dimensions will not come with the copy as we chose to duplicate rather than duplicate with detailing. So now let's right click over this and we'll rename this to be floor 2 furniture. And now we need to switch the furniture categories back on. So to do this, we'll go to the properties palette and then we'll click the edit button next to the visibility graphic overrides. Now in the model categories here, we can see we have casework, so we'll select the visibility toggle here and then we'll click OK, and we can see that that casework has come back into the view. Another way of doing this is to go to the view control bar, and here we can toggle the reveal hidden elements mode. So we'll click on this, and now we can see we have the purple outline of the view letting us know that we're in reveal hidden elements, and all of the hidden elements in the view are coloured in the same purple colour. And now we can just select one of those elements, such as this desk here, and from the modify ribbon tab up here we can see we have some extra buttons, and one of those is to unhide category. So I'll click on this, then all of the furniture will be visible within the view, and we can tell that because it's no longer coloured in purple in this view. Zooming out, we can see we need to do the same with the plumbing fixtures, so I'll select one of the showers here and again click unhide category. And then finally we'll grab the refrigerator in the view here and click unhide category again. So now that we have all of those unhidden, we could go to the ribbon and choose the toggle reveal hidden elements mode to close that down. But let's go back to the view control bar and we'll click the toggle there to switch off the reveal hidden elements mode. And now we can see we've got our view with all of the furniture and the equipment switched back on. So now we want to highlight the walls and the furniture. And to do this, we will override the way that they are displayed within this view. So we'll go back to the properties palette and click edit next to visibility graphic overrides. And in the model categories here, we'll scroll down to the bottom until we find the walls. If I select this now, we can see we have override buttons for the lines and patterns for both projection, surface and cut. In the plan, the walls are actually cut through, so we'll choose the override button for the cut patterns. Now in here we'll change the foreground pattern to be a solid fill, and then we can click the colour swatch here and we'll change this to be blue. Now we'll click OK to assign that colour and then click OK to confirm the override. Now if I click OK to the settings here, we can see all of the walls are now coloured in blue. An alternative way of doing this is to select an object in the view, so I'll pick the desk here, and now from the right click menu I'll choose override graphics in view and by category. So now we're going to override the surface pattern, so for the foreground here we'll click and choose a solid fill, and then we'll change the colour to be light grey, and then we'll click OK and then OK once more to assign that override. Again we can see now that all of the furniture has been overridden in light grey. Now zooming in a little, we'd also like to control the door swings here, and we can do that via the visibility graphic overrides as well. So let's click the edit button here, and now we can find the doors category, and then expanding this out we can see these subcategories within the door, Looking down here, we can see we have a subcategory for plan swing. So I'll select it, and then we'll choose to override the lines for the projection surface. And now we'll just change the line pattern to be the hidden 1/16 of an inch. And then we'll click to change the colour to be light grey. And then we can click OK, and then OK once more to save that override, and then OK to save the changes. And now in the view, we can see that those door swings are now displayed with a dashed hidden line. And that now completes setting up our furniture view and overriding the object displays via the visibility graphic overrides.